Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Depending on your time zone, this is the Doctor's Clinic Call with your host from Denver, Colorado, Daniel D.W. Whited. D.W., take it away.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Doctor's Clinic Call, and it's just exciting to be in a position to where we can just start discussing some things that will help people move forward in their lives. And one thing that we're totally about when it comes to what we're doing with Sisel and what we're doing with life is this: putting yourself in a position to where you can give your family the greatest Christmas gift, the greatest life gift you could ever give them, and that is your health. You hear me say that from time to time, and I don't believe I'm saying it enough because I'm trying to speak it into my own life, and I want that just to drop down into your mind and drop down into your heart and drop down into your spirit to where you would just go, you know, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that gal. That's me. That's who I am. I'm going to give my family, my health. And we do everything we can to do that and put yourself in a position to do that. You can't always control 100% what happens. However, you can put yourself in a position to give them your health. A lot of autoimmune challenges that people have and diseases that are out there are self-induced. They're self-inflicted. And, we can turn a lot of things around and stop things from happening. So you're basically one decision away from giving your family your health. Because if you don't give them your health, they're going to be wheeling you around and wiping the drool off your face and possibly checking you into an old folks' home when you're not old and going through all those kind of things. You don't think about that, but, I don't want my kids taking care of me. I want to take care of them still. I want to be a blessing to them still. I want to be there and do things with and for the grandkids. And I think you have some of the same desires and same goals. And so we're going to get into tonight's topic because it's one of the things that, that's pretty interesting. And Doc Fizz will be with us here in a few minutes, but I'm going to take a few minutes and just share with you some things that I've learned and that I've kind of grasped that should be a blessing to you. Fabian Losa was talking the other day, and he's talking about more people now on this planet are dying and having more challenges with obesity, overweight problems than they are with malnutrition and hunger. In other words, we've gotten to a place to where, and a lot of it is this, and let's just kind of be fair about what's going on in life. A lot of it is the food is not as healthy as it once was. The water's not getting better, and neither is the ground or the soil. And so a lot of soils are depleted. We've got a lot of, GMO foods and things like that are going on that are, self-manipulated foods that we're putting in our body. But I can tell you, just being a farm boy from Kansas and just as country as cornflakes is this. At one time, and some of you might have heard me share this before, wheat used to have 40% protein in it. Now it's less than 7% protein. If I'm sitting down and I'm eating a portion of a meal and it has 40% protein in it, I'm in pretty good shape on that particular item. This is why Grandma and Grandpa and our great grandparents, they could eat the biscuits and gravy all the time and not be big as a barn, is because they were the majority of what they were eating in the biscuits back in those days had protein in it. It's gone now, and people talk about all this stuff that's going on in the system. Well, it's because the nutrients and nutrition's not in there anymore. So tonight we're getting into part 2 of getting healthy when it comes to your weight. Your body knows what you need to weigh. You don't need some chart to tell you what you need to weigh. It knows. And there are genetics are involved. I mean, certain cultures and races are built certain ways, and so your body will reset back to that particular state. Now, there are set points, and I want to use this word set points, in your body. There was a time that, let's say, for an example, let's say you're 250 pounds and you're 6 foot tall. There was a time you lived your life probably at 200 pounds for a lot of months, and maybe for several years you were at 210, and then for a few years you were at 215, and then all of a sudden, boom, you hit 230, then you slam 250 and wonder, what in the world happened? Well, and as you start getting healthy and understand, I don't look at someone ever and go, wow, man, whew, man, oh my goodness, that is that is a tubby guy over there. I don't do that. I look at, hey, we need to help that guy right there. We need to help that gal right there get healthy. Because I have seen skinny, mini people that aren't healthy. I have seen athletes that aren't healthy. Okay, so we want to get you healthy. So when Doc Fisk talks to you, when I talk to you, when Marianne talks to you, when we get some of the leaders and you get Tom Sr., Tom Jr., and they come on and talk to you, one of the first things we want to do is to get your mindset about getting healthy. So getting your body healthy weight-wise and being at a healthy weight to where you can take on a flight of stairs and not need oxygen when you get to the top. If that's you, if you're that guy, then start parking in the back of the parking lot and do little things, just little dinky things. Change some habits in your life that will help you get healthy. So the first habit we want you to change and take a look at is your mindset. Where you are health-wise and where you are weight-wise is nothing more than a mindset. It is a mindset. You either believe you can or you believe you can't. Now, you've heard people say if you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're wrong. Well, in this case, if you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, it's not true. You can. Now, you won't because you don't believe you can, but the truth is you can. So rewind, listen to that a few times because that's a really interesting mindset. Get your mindset wrapped around what do I want to look like? What do I want my health to be like? What do I want my resting heart rate? Do you even know what your resting heart rate is? Do you even know what your heart rate is when you're moving around and climbing some stairs? Find out what that heart rate is and set some goals to get it better. Learn to breathe in and hold air into your lungs at the top of your lungs for just a bit, and then slowly breathe out through your mouth and breathe out for 15 to 20 seconds real slowly and let all the air out. Then feel the bottom of your lungs and do that back and forth, about 3 to 4 times before you go to sleep. So you're filling your body and your lungs full of oxygen. And one of the things that's going to help you get healthy is our water treatment system when it comes to hydrogen and putting it in your system. So get a mindset to get healthy. Don't get a mindset, oh, I can't afford this, oh, I can't afford that. Yes, you can. Get a mindset, I can afford it. And, and I will afford it. And so just start telling yourself what you can do instead of telling yourself what you can't do. Get a mindset to get healthy. And so number one is get your mindset wrapped around what you're doing. And number two, get a mindset to get healthy, not just have the right attitude about yourself, but get a visual picture of what you want to look like. And don't cut something out of the magazine of some guy that's got a 22-pack abs. Are you kidding? Just get healthy. Just get healthy. Try to walk 5 minutes every day as far as you can. Mark that spot and then turn around and walk back home. And then next day, get there just a little bit faster, and then walk 10 minutes and back. And before you know it, you're getting getting that heart rate going and getting those muscles. Talked to an exercise guy, and he said one of the smartest things you can do is something like what we have when it comes to Koga Fitness. It's crazy. So get with the person that puts you on this call and get hooked up with a Koga Fitness video and get going there. So get your mindset to be healthy. Now get your mindset number 3 to make the right choices. Learn to eat low glycemic. Because that takes me into the fourth point as well, which is having a mindset of the fourth point is an understanding when it comes to weight and weight loss that most people don't have a weight problem. They have a sugar problem. So point 4 and point 3 kind of go hand in hand. So point 3 is make the right choices. Make the right choices. Let me just share something with you. Here's a great low glycemic snack for you to have, and you should have it every day. And it's just plain old-fashioned cherries that have pits in them. Take those little rascals. Go to the health food store. Get you some. We use the farmer's market called Sprouts, and we get you some cherries. Throw them in a bowl. Rinse them in the organic cleanse. So you rinse everything off of them, and then just chew on those. There's a couple things it does. Number 1, it's low glycemic. Number 2, it's a great, phenomenal snack for you to have. Another thing about it is it has the pits in them, so you're not going to just grab a handful of tater chips and slam them down. It takes a little while to eat some cherries. And so just little things like that. Make choices on what you're going to eat because you're going to eat. So start throwing some carrots down, all right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. and for your blood and all that kind of stuff, in addition to what we're doing with getting healthy. But I'm talking about food choices right now. Throw some celery down. Yeah, a big old stick of celery about 3 times a day it's good for your blood and good for your brain. And so slam some celery. And just, once in a while splurge, you can slide a little, not so gunky peanut butter on there and from time to time. Grab a hold of some things that are low glycemic. Just do the research. Find out what's low glycemic. And for those of you that are type 2 diabetics and you're having challenges there, eat something. Don't eat anything for 2 hours. Then eat that piece of food. And then 2 hours later, check your blood, and you'll see if that particular food is low glycemic for you. Test the food. Everyone's body reacts different to different foods. It's not a 100% guarantee all when it comes to food on how your body's going to react. So now getting into getting yourself healthy, putting yourself in a position to where you're getting healthy. You need to get on your fastest pair of tennis shoes. I'm talking about your Olympic tennis shoes. And you need to run away from sugar as fast as you possibly can run. Sugar, if you put sugar, if the FDA was to test sugar today and evaluate it on what it does to the body and put it through the full gamut of testing, they would classify it as addictive and more dangerous than cocaine. I kid you not. It is a destroyer of your cells, of your body, of your brain, of your joints, of your tissues, of your muscles, of your heart, your attitude. It messes with your emotional levels. Case in point, go off sugar right now and tell me, and go off pop and all that junk that you're doing, and get off of it and tell me if your head doesn't scream for more sugar. It will. And sugar comes in all kinds of forms. I mean, people think, hey, I'm going to eat this big old potato. And, potato will break down and turn into a sugar. So find out what foods. You got to have a little bit of stuff, and you got to have the right kind of sugar substance in your body in order to break protein down. But slamming the sugar and the amounts of sugar that we have, if you really knew how much sugar you ate in a day, the chances are the average person out there is eating take a big old bowl, not a little dinky bowl, but a big bowl, and the average person is filling that entire bowl of sugar and eating that in a day's time. And then they're going, oh, feel good. Man, I'm tired. My joints hurt. My back's about to fall off. Are you kidding me? You put poison in your body and expect to feel great? Hello. Come on. Now, here's the thing. This dude, I love sugar. I mean, I just love sugar. I just take a spoon of sugar and just have, boom. I mean, Mary Poppins in that song, just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. It's my favorite song. Are you kidding me already? So just kind of grab a hold of that just because it might help the medicine go down doesn't mean it's good for you. All right? So walk away from sugar. If I could get you to walk away from a few things right now and make some healthy choices and then start adding some things to your life and your life habits, you're going to get healthy. You're going to get healthy. You're going to look healthy. You're going to feel healthy. You're going to talk healthy. You're going to walk healthy. You're just going to be healthy. And they're going to look at you and they're going to say, that's a healthy person right there. Instead of going, man, there's a chubby boy right there, that chubby gal. And so it's just a matter of a mindset of making some new choices. Get rid of the sugar. Walk away from the starches. Don't even consider drinking pop. Just pop alone. What it does to your joints and your body and your bones. Are you kidding me? And carbonation. Just carbonation. Some people all drink white pop and it doesn't have sugar in it. Are you kidding? The carbonation of that pop is going to attack the calcium to your bones. And then you get older. You don't want to be 75 years old and your bones look like Swiss cheese. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? So you want to have healthy bones later? Because I'm telling you, bone health is a big deal. How many people do you know, and there's a bunch of them, that you can go read the obituaries this winter, they got a little bit of sick, and then they fell and broke a hip and went in the hospital, and boom, they're dead. They're gone because their bone health. They couldn't bounce off the floor. You're meant to be able to bounce off the floor a little bit. Not that you got to go slam yourself every day, but as you're starting to get healthy, think about your bone health. Get that calcium K2 in you that we have with Sisel. Now, you're going to walk away from the starches, Walk away from the soda pops. Just get addicted to water. After you drink water for about 30 straight days, you are absolutely going to just crave water. Your body will go, thank you very much. You've abused me. I mean, if your body could sue you, we'd all be sued for abuse. We talk about child abuse and all this kind of abuse out there. Are you kidding? How about self-abuse? We abuse ourselves to the max. It's just crazy. But then we expect to feel better. Okay, I'm going to abuse myself all day long, but if I take that Ficoidin, is it going to make me feel better? Well, yeah, it actually will. But if you stop putting the junk in you and you take the Ficoidin, you're going to be putting yourself in a position to possibly feel fantastic again. And so think about some of your choices. Get the triangle of life in your body so you can start getting healthy. Take the Ficoidin and use it. Go through about a bottle in a week, and just get the Ficoidin in your system. So it's doing that mild cleanse to your kidney, to your livers, to your small intestine, to your large intestine. And get your gut health back, and get your immune system built up. All right. People are going, man, I'm getting colds, I'm getting sick, I'm getting that, and they're throwing sugar and junk. Your body can't get healthy when we're putting all this junk in there. So if we get rid of the starches, we walk away from some of the sugars, and get rid of the breads and grains and junk, and walk away from some of those, add some nuts in and some other things, and start eating low glycemic, your life is going to change. You haven't felt this good before. And it's time. It's absolutely time for you to get healthy. So the triangle of life is absolutely huge. Getting the Ficoidin in your system, getting the resveratrol, which is eternity, in your system on a daily, about 3 times a day, a quarter dose 3 times a day, and then the Spectromax. Are you kidding me? You want to get healthy? There's 74 essential trace minerals in the Spectromax. Essential means non-negotiable. Your body has to have them. And so, plus 40 major antioxidants, cover the entire color chart of having antioxidants from. It'd be like going to the farmer's market and buying every fruit and vegetable that varied in color by just a fraction, and you take a slice of that and you eat that a day. You can get that right there in our Spectromax right now in your body. And it's great for your kids, and it's phenomenal for you, and it's good for your friends, your family, everybody. So you want to get your body healthy. So talking about getting health. Then you move into adding the omega. A lot of companies out there and marketers are promoting just the omega-3 fish oil for a weight loss product. That's right. That's what they're doing. And we've got one that's jammed with all the omegas in it, and so it's got the omega-5, 7s, 9, all of them, all the numbers. Got all the omegas in them you can get. Then it adds coenzyme Q10, so your heart stays healthy and keeps rolling on down the road and producing for you, as opposed to getting weaker and weaker and weaker. You get a heart that gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Now you're getting healthier. Wow. I mean, this is a game changer. And then you come in here with some of the products that we have our hands on, and you have a chance to do some things with the Sisel. You have a chance to do some stuff with the Accelerator. Accelerator does just that. Accelerates your thermogen, accelerates your system. And then you come in there with the Thermaline 500, which is phenomenal, low glycemic product that is incredible good for those that are type 2 diabetics and even type 1. The Thermaline 500 is a life changer when it comes to that. I mean, it flat just is great for your sugar levels. But, there's a couple things that help with your sugar levels, because we talked about insulin being in your system, and when your insulin level spikes, you can't lose weight. You're going to gain weight and store fat. You're going to store all the sugars and stuff as fat. Well, to blunt those sugar spikes, you can do it with, a lot of people slam just tons of protein at it. You need fiber and protein. You need protein and solids. So when you're eating your evening meal, throw a big, huge steak and eat a steak if you want to, but eat a salad with it. Leave the potatoes out. All right. When you take a potato and you take a protein like a steak and you mix the two together, there's a chemical reaction of hours for meat and potatoes, which I'm a country boy, so steak and taters is what I live on. It takes 12 hours for that to start to digest and get digested. So if you have bacon and eggs and fried taters for breakfast, it's 12 hours before that digests out, because it breaks down chemically. Well, at lunch, then you go and you have some potato chips in a sandwich, which you're doing again. I don't care what kind of sandwich it is, turkey, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Now you got more, and breakfast hasn't broke down, and you already got supper sitting there or lunch sitting there. Then you go eat supper, and are you kidding me? In supper, you actually have some steak and taters, or a hamburger and fries, or whatever you're doing. I mean, that's our typical diet. So get rid of the potato, throw in a ton of green beans in your life, throw in a bunch of salads in there, and eat that with your protein so your protein can break down. So we wonder why our body's not breaking down. It doesn't have the enzymes. Food doesn't have the enzymes. Food used to have 50%. When you would eat something, it would break down. There was back in the day, and Doc Fizz will jump on here in a second and validate what I'm telling you here, but 50% of it would actually have enough enzymes in it to where that food would dissolve and break down right there, bing, bam, on the spot. Now the foods don't have the enzymes, so your body your food would break down 50%. Then your body would have the acids and stuff to break down the other 50%, and the food would be gone, dissipated, out of there. Now your body's spending the whole time breaking down 100% of the food, and you wonder why you're exhausted. You wonder why you wore out. You throw steak and potatoes, and you've eaten 2 meals and hadn't even digested breakfast yet. Are you kidding me? We wonder what's going on. Well, those are some of the things that's going on. So in order to get healthy, put yourself in a position where you start eating, some proteins and some carbohydrates that are positive, good carbohydrates, and start eating right. And then you add our incredible, off-the-charts, crazy good Sisel that has both protein and fiber. Bingo, slamming it down. Throwing some fire and iced tea in there. Boom, low glycemic. Hitting it, pulling fat out of the fat cells. So it's phenomenal. Well, right now we're going to pop over to Dr. Kurt Fisnick, one of my buddies. And, Doc, it's going to be one of the best years ever. We got people on this call, listening to this call right now. They're going to be passing this out to their buddies, and their buddies are going to go, you know what, these guys make sense. And it's because we're not trying to sell something. We just want people to get healthy. You're either going to do it or you're not. Get the mindset, I am, I can, I will, it's done, and make the right decision. And so look at what's in your hand and look what's going in your mouth and say, is that food going to give me life or is it going to give me death? Dr. Kurt, welcome to the call tonight. And hopefully you're back and where you can yak at us a little bit. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, DW. I'm sitting back and I'm listening, and I appreciate taking and not getting me on the call. I was driving back from treating some clients of mine. But, I listen to everything you say, and I go, holy cow, he's right. Yep, there he's right. Oh, and there he's right. I mean, every single point that you brought up, it's like, I want to take, and if I had a piece of paper, I would have been writing that down. And for everybody that listens to the recording, write this stuff down because it really is that important. I mean, one of the points that DW brought up, sugar. I mean, sugar, if it was invented today, it would be considered a drug. Not only is it highly addictive, but it'll kill you. It'll kill you. And I remember back in early 90s, in one of the newspapers, the local newspaper here in Fargo, there was the front page of the Fargo Forum. It said, scientists can't figure out why kids are obese. Why is there so much obesity? And so I had to write a letter to the editor, and I said, because we're eating way too much sugar. And the president of Mindak Sugar Cooperative, which is one of the big sugar manufacturers in the area, he wrote a response back to my letter to the editor, and he said, Dr. Fisnick, you should just stick to backs and necks. He said, you don't know what you're talking about. Sugar's been proven to be good for you. And I thought, wow, right? And then I wrote back a letter to him, and he wrote back a letter to me, and this went on and on and on. Finally, the newspaper, they just put a stop to it. They said, you guys should go just duke it out somewhere. But, DW, when you look at sugar, the problem with it is that it goes into a different energy cycle in your body. Your body uses sugar in a different way. And so it just doesn't give you the energy that you get when you have real good food, food that has nutrients in it. Like you were saying, the soil's been depleted. We put nitrogen back into the soil. I mean, I'm a country boy from over here in North Dakota, same thing as Kansas. And, I watch my friends and how they farm. They put tons of nitrogen in. Boy, those crops look good. I mean, they can plant rows of corn 6 inches apart now, where back in the day, I mean, the rows of corn were 24 inches apart. And the corn is so close together that they don't even have to cultivate for weeds, because the corn just blocks the sun out and keeps the weeds from growing. And great big ears of corn, big yields of corn. but absolutely no nutrition in it. My friend raises cattle, and he had a report. I don't know where it was from, and I'm not. If I knew, I probably wouldn't want to say it anyhow. I'd probably get in trouble and get shot by the corporation. But they listed GMO corn versus non-GMO corn, and just the energy that was produced, the calories of energy that was produced by the corn was, just negligible amounts in the GMO corn in comparison to the others. So you get big yields, but you have absolutely no energy in it. So it's lots and lots of bulk, and part of the reason that we get fat and when we eat that food, and then those cows, they eat that same corn and they get fat. And an interesting book, if anybody wants to read it, it's called The Omnivore's Dilemma. And it talks about this whole corn thing, but read that, The Omnivore's Dilemma. My son, who's going to medical school, turned me on to that. But, the number one, or one of the top reasons, I guess, that people go to doctors is for low energy. And I start, as I was listening to DW, I share that with people. They go to the doctors for low energy. And I was reading about diatomic hydrogen yesterday. I like to read, and I read a lot of scientific articles. And this doctor from the University of Pittsburgh was just sharing that back in the day, 100 years ago, we ate really, really good food with lots of nutrition. That food, when it broke down, it gave energy, and it gave off hydrogen so that our body could burn that as energy. Well, nowadays, the food doesn't have that energy. It doesn't have that hydrogen in it. And so that's one of the reasons that I gave my mom and dad one of those diatomic hydrogen machines, the Super H2. I gave it to them for Christmas because I really feel it's important. It's that important that I think that they ought to have one. And I think when you start reading up on it, you go, holy cow, I want to get one of those machines. And you just, 2016, it's coming right around the corner here. Write it down as one of your goals for the year. I'm going to have one of those machines. And then you work out a plan. How are you going to do it? But, as I talk and that, DW is talking about food. I mean, you take a head of lettuce today in comparison to a head of lettuce from the mid-1950s, you have to eat over 8 heads of lettuce today to equal the nutrients that you got from one head of lettuce just 60 years ago. I mean, think about that. 8 heads of lettuce compared to what you had to have just 60 years ago. We start looking at what's one of the top prescriptions in the United States. It's always in the top 3. It's Synthroid. And when your thyroid goes bad, your metabolism starts to drop. And when you have low metabolism, you don't burn your calories. You're just not an efficient calorie burner. And the thyroid is highly toxic to environmental toxins. A study that came out by the EPA back in the 80s said that over 80% of thyroid conditions were caused by environmental toxins that affected the thyroid. And you start looking at those toxins, and that's a whole other subject that I can get into. But who would think of the Body Shield? And I know Marianne and DW, you've heard me say, Body Shield all the time. It's one of my favorite products. It's kind of the unsung hero in the Sisel product line because of the fact that it removes these heavy metals and toxins that affect the thyroid. And Synthroid, again, being one of the top 3 prescribed medicines in America, what if we could get, even 20% of people from having to take that? And you're going to see people losing weight. You're going to see them so their metabolism comes back. And when you start losing weight, guess what? You don't have any more back pain. You start losing some of that neck pain. You start getting rid of some headaches. Yeah, headaches, because what happens is that your face gets fat. It starts pulling forward on your neck. It starts straining the neck muscles. All of a sudden you have muscle tension, headaches because of your weight. I mean, who thinks about that? And then you get rid of the hip pain. You get rid of the knee pain. You get rid of all these different things just by getting rid of toxins and getting rid of that extra fat. And all these different things, you start having joint pain. Now you have chronic inflammation. You have food that doesn't have any nutrients in it. The liver starts to produce cholesterol. It starts blocking the arteries. I mean, you see the chain reaction just going, and like DW did a great job of pointing out all the different products. I mean, let's get our health back, and then what we're going to see is we're going to have just some miraculous weight loss, just crazy weight loss, and that's really what we want. So DW, that was kind of the start points that I took down as I was listening to you talk, and And so back to you, man.
Well, and here's one of the questions when it comes to getting healthy and getting the bone health and getting the joint health and having the right oxygen levels in what's going on with somebody. When you lose weight, that and by getting healthy, not just like losing weight and slamming weight down, but I'm talking about a healthy way of losing weight in the sense of a pound or two a week. And it took people years to get this way and years to gain weight, and everybody seems to want to. Oh man, I lost X amount of. Everyone gets in such a big hurry. This is why, Doc, I think you and I have talked about this before, and even in Cancun. It's not about that. It's about getting healthy. And so, what does this do to when you do it the right way? What does it do to the oxygen levels, to the bone density? I mean, some of the things that doctors to the joints. Can you speak to that real quick?
You bet. Well, first thing I was just thinking this, and I have to say it. A lot of people they go, man, when I first got on that weight loss program, I lost 30 pounds right away. Well, a lot of that first 30 pounds that you lose is water weight because you're going to lose a lot of water right away in the beginning. It's not fat loss in that. When you take your weight loss program, your entire weight loss program, let's say that I want to lose 50 pounds, right? If you're doing it in a healthy fashion, it's going to take me 50 weeks to lose 25 pounds. And because a healthy weight loss based on all the science and the researchers that I've sat down and talked to, they say that you want to lose it 2 pounds per week average. Well, check this out, okay? When you get down to your last 10 pounds, it's going to take 8 to 10 weeks if you're doing it the right way. Because by the time you get down to where you're losing that last 10 pounds, you're losing it really slowly. And that's why most people, when they have a weight loss goal, they get within that last 10 pounds of their goal, and all of a sudden they say, man, Doc, it's not working anymore. I'm not losing weight. Well, 1 pound a week doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a big difference when it's working right. And what does it do to everything else? I mean, I'm trying to think back what the actual numbers are. I mean, I think that if a person, if you lose 40 pounds, it absolutely just wipes out most knee pain, most hip pain, most back pain. 40 pounds, and again, you start thinking about neck pain and shoulder pain and all that. What does it have to do with weight? Well, your head gets heavier, your head gets thicker, it gets bigger. It's not that your head stays the same size and your belly gets big. Your whole body gets big, and so we got to look at all of that, and we look at the metabolism, we look at every single thing, and get that all working together, and it just works that way. It works great.
So what someone can expect is to put yourself in a position to where you're making the right choices, and I'm speaking from experience over and over and over again. We have seen Sisel products based on results be the right choice for individuals. And then, making the right choices in what you're eating and putting yourself in a position to win and giving your family your health as a gift. And so, Dr. Kurt, any last words you want to say before we head out of here?
I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. Write down a few things that you want to do, and then if you want, email me, docphys@me.com, and I can help you put together, a healthier diet so you can make some differences, or maybe there's some things that you want me to take a look at as far as like, could this be causing some of my weight problems, things like that. I'd be happy to work with you. docphys@me.com, or call me. My phone number, my office number is 980-34-YOUNG, the word young, Y-O-U-N-G, 980-34-YOUNG. That's my office line. And if I don't answer, just leave a message, and I do get back to everybody, even if I don't know who you are. All right?
Well, everybody, there you have it. That's the Doctor's Clinic. We'll stop the recording and then give you all a chance, just a little feedback. Rob will unmute us, get a little feedback on how you felt about the call tonight, and what's your goal? And I just really think everyone's goal should be, let's get healthier next year by getting healthier today.